It's finally happening, guys. My first review of a terrible movie. Hey guys, Melinda here. I knew that this was coming and it was going to happen. I have finally found my first film that I watched that was terrible that I get to review now. This is the first since reinventing my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Secret Obsession. Secret Obsession is a Netflix original film. It was released last summer in 2019. I knew exactly how the movie was going to play out before even going into it, which honestly I don't like that about a film. It's classified as a thriller and psychological thriller. I wouldn't even consider this film close to a psychological thriller. It didn't make me think in any kind of way. I guessed every single plot twist that was going to happen. I basically have already seen this film, but now it's with two different characters. I debated whether or not I wanted to show you guys the trailer, and I decided that I'm going to, and I will explain a little bit after we watch it.
Your husband's here to see you.
Hey, what happened? I mean, how did I get here?
Jennifer, you were in an accident and you hit your head. You don't remember me, do you?
I don't even know your name.
I'm Russell. It's really nice to meet you.
This is really our house.
It's been family for a while.
It's so quiet.
Better be. Nearest neighbor's over a mile away.
Only a mile?
This is Detective Page. I was wondering if your wife would come down to the station tomorrow at 11 to talk about the accident.
What's tomorrow at 11? I overheard you outside on the phone.
That was work calling. You're wondering when I was coming back.
Russell? There's someone in the backyard!
So I think I'm gonna head into town today. You gonna be okay?
I'll be fine. I feel like I just need to take a look around. Maybe something will trigger my memory.
Don't overdo it.
Since Jennifer had no ID, how did Russell prove he was her husband?
It says here that he showed some family photos.
Jennifer and Russell? That's the happy couple right there.
If that's Russell, who's that?
What did you do to my husband?
This was no accident.
All I have ever wanted is for you to love me.
And there you go, the whole plot to the movie. Right in the trailer. That is probably why I debated showing the trailer or not. When I first discovered this movie, I believe it was a year ago when it came out, I saw a little sneak preview of it on Netflix. I didn't see that whole trailer or anything. I was initially drawn to it because I could tell right away that it was going to be a thriller and it had Brenda's song in it. I'm also a little bit more disappointed because I didn't know anything going into this movie, but I immediately knew how this movie was going to play out when I started watching it. And that just makes me so sad. You know, a movie shouldn't do that. You should keep guessing throughout it and following along with the investigation, the shocking plot twists. But no, I called every single one. I knew right from the get-go that Russell is not actually Russell. And then that's why I debated showing the trailer or not, because I was looking for a trailer to put into this video and show you guys, and that is the actual official trailer released from Netflix to promote the film. Why on earth is that the trailer? You just gave away the ending and the whole story. You don't even need to watch the film anymore because you can kind of already guess what's gonna happen. So that's why I debated showing the trailer, but I thought it was important to see it because it really does play into everything I'm going to discuss about the film. So let's go ahead and get right to it. For those of you who don't watch my film reviews, I like to give the movie reviews with no spoilers. If I talk about anything, it will be in reference to the trailer and I won't give away anything else dealing with the film. I will give it credit for how the film actually begins. You start mid-action, very intense, very dramatic. I immediately was hooked, and then it cuts to the scene of Brenda Song's character in the hospital. As soon as Russell walks in and says, I'm her husband, and she was in a terrible accident, whatever, I knew immediately that this wasn't her husband. I don't know who this guy is, but I just can tell you right now, it's not the husband. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was exactly his introduction at the hospital. First of all, I know it's supposed to come across really sweet when he's like, oh, I'm Russell, it's very nice to meet you, and they shake hands, but I just thought it was like weird. He's trying to pass off as a husband and he's not doing a very good job of it. He was just acting super suspicious, super weird, not acting like an actual husband. Like, it just was a weird interaction. And so my thought and my question is, was that the movie's intent was to obviously show that he is not the husband, or is it just bad acting? Either or, terrible decisions. I hate both. And the reason why I am led to believe of bad acting is because there are some side characters that have like just a few lines here and there, don't really contribute a lot to the story or to the film, and the acting is just so bad. I could tell how much these actors and actresses are trying to play this character. It felt so forced and it was uncomfortable to watch. That's why I was curious if it's the bad acting route. The other route I'm thinking, and that's if they were trying to make it that obvious, they do that throughout the entire film. They are force feeding you the clues. It's because they're very obviously throwing these clues at you and trying to force feed it down your throat so you understand the story, and it was too much. I think that it could have been written so much better with slight alterations and changes. It could have actually been a really good thriller. First of all, change the trailer because that just gives away everything. And then second, have Russell actually act like a husband at the hospital so then people could actually get confused later on. Just was not good dialogue at all. It was awful. As you see in the trailer, there is this detective. He is looking into who this Russell guy is, what happened to Brenda Song's husband. Like, he's on the case of this. They added a side story for him that was unnecessary. I won't discuss what his side story is because if you want to go watch the film, then you can go see it for yourself. The side story that they give the detective is really just to give the character more sympathy, which was dumb. It plays no factor into the film. It has no real value. It just gives the detective slight sympathy. But in a thriller, you don't need sympathy for the detective. He's already on the case. He's trying to figure out what is going on, what happened to the husband, who is Russell. The writer did not need to add that side story. On the other hand, if I was writing this and I wanted to include that side story, I probably would have done something like manipulate his side story into Russell. I have a few ideas on how I would do it, but I'm not going to explain here because then it would give away the side story and some of the details pertaining to the film, but it could be done. It very well could be done on how to connect the two, but the fact that they weren't in this film, it can go. It's not needed. So, like I've mentioned before, this film is very predictable and very obvious with what they're setting up to happen next in the film, and I was just hoping as I was watching it, it would play out differently. Because I knew in my head, I was like, I know exactly how this is going to end, but I don't want it to end this way. So the entire time I'm watching, I'm twisting everything in my mind, like, oh, maybe it could be this guy. Maybe Russell's actually legit. Like, maybe something else will happen. I just kept going into that corner because I just so did not want what I knew was going to happen. I was just hoping and praying something would redeem this film, and it didn't. The one thing I will say that I am happy about this film is they gave it a happy ending. And again, no spoilers, so I won't tell you what happens. Just know that it is a happy ending, which makes me happy because I know in thrillers like this, they sometimes like to allude to the idea that the story could continue and that there could be a sequel. And they didn't do that at all. They just tied it up in a neat bow and called it a day. So that's the one thing I'm happy that they decided to do. That's pretty much everything that I just wanted to talk about and all of my issues with this film. Again, just to kind of briefly summarize, the film was very predictable and very obvious with its plot twists and just very in your face and screaming that this is going to happen. We're letting you know that this is going to happen, so don't think anything else is going to happen. Very predictable, very obvious. The acting is kind of bad. The side story that they gave the detective was not needed and should have just not existed. It should not be in the film. It should not be a part of it. Real no value to that story. And the fact that the trailer gives away everything. You already know what to expect while watching it, so it kind of ruins any shock value or any surprise to it. So I guess that is it for this film review. Secret Obsession, I don't really recommend unless you want to know the specifics to the cop side story, what exactly did happen to the husband, who is Russell, yada yada yada, even though immediately you'll know exactly all of those answers within like 15 minutes of watching the film. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and thank you all for the support. If you want to see more content and more movie reviews, please hit that subscribe button. Tune in every week. I'll have a new video up. If you possibly liked the movie or if you like this movie review, then give this video a big thumbs up. That would also mean the world to me. Please leave your comments down below on your thoughts on the film, your thoughts on this video, if you want me to spoil it and talk about specifics and what else makes this movie terrible, then yeah, leave it in the comments down below and I will respond to you guys, as well as leave your comments on what you think I should watch next and review. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Live life, always laugh, and enjoy the journey. Bye. Want to see more